here in Hampshire. We're here looking at part 4 of a 5-part series on how you can drive the ball better, longer, straighter. And in part 4 we're going to look very closely at what I would consider to be the 2 key elements, the 2 most important parts of increasing your distance. How can we hit the ball further off the tee? Those 2 elements for me are a combination of strike and speed. So the vast majority of club golfers that we look at, both in driver lessons and especially when we're doing driver fittings, one of the things that really surprises them is the inaccuracy with which they hit the ball on the face from one shot to another, the variety of places that they'll hit the ball on the club face. And this explains really the differences between what you would consider to be your best drive and maybe a drive which you suddenly look around and think, well, I haven't hit that as far as I should have done. The most likely explanation for that is not necessarily to be found in your golf swing, it's to be found in your strike location. If you hit the ball low on the face or out of the heel of the club in particular, you're going to significantly reduce the distance that the ball travels. Regardless of the type of swing you make, you could make the best golf swing in terms of its mechanics, but if you hit the ball low and or out of the heel, you're going to sacrifice a huge amount of yardage. So where should we hit the ball? Well, we've talked in previous videos about the need to hit the ball slightly above the centre, and if we're going to make a mistake, especially if you're a fade or a slice player, slightly out of the toe. So we're looking for a tee height which allows us, encourages us to hit the ball a little higher on the face. We don't want the ball tee too low. So probably around 1/3 to half the ball shown above the top of the club when we address it. We are then looking to ensure that we manage our strike, and the easiest way to do this, again as I've suggested in previous videos, is you go to the supermarket, buy a dry shampoo spray, you just spray the club face, you leave a white powder on the club face, hit the ball, and you'll see exactly where on the club face that ball was struck. Now we're looking for a point for maximum distance of slightly above, and if anything a fraction on the toe side. So if you can hit the ball just up and slightly toe side, that's where you're going to maximize the distance in terms of a strike. The second thing is speed. Now speed is something that the vast majority of golfers that certainly I've ever coached tend to be afraid of. The number of times we hear, I swung too fast when we've hit a bad shot. That's not it at all. The best players in the world now are swinging the driver at about 115, 118 miles an hour. Some even a little more than that. The average club golfer is swinging the club somewhere probably in the low to mid 80s miles an hour, maybe pushing 90. So 30 to 35 miles an hour slower than the best in the world. Trust me when I tell you, you're not swinging too quickly. You might be swinging in an uncoordinated fashion, but certainly not going too fast. So we need to build up and accept speed. Now when we're talking speed, we're talking club speed and particular club head speed. This is where sometimes it's a little counterintuitive, because for us to swing fast we need to move slow. That's a little saying that I often use. What I mean by that is the faster you move the body, the harder we try to hit it, generally the slower the club will go. The more we can keep our movements nice and smooth in the torso and the legs, the faster the arms and therefore the club can go. So if you take an alignment rod, great exercise to build up speed is just take an alignment rod and swing it as fast as you can, and then make 3 more swings and try to make them faster than the previous one. How loud can you make that swish through the air? Now as a drill with the driver, one of the things that you can do on the range is start out with your normal driver swing, hit a ball, then with the second shot try to go just 2 miles an hour faster, and with the third ball 2 miles an hour faster. It's a very simple 5-ball drill, that's all you need. 2 miles an hour faster with each swing for a set of 5. Now as you're hitting the shots, notice the quality of the strike, notice the quality of the ball flight. My experience of doing this drill is generally ball number 1 and ball number 5 are very rarely the best shots. Ball ball number 3, ball number 4 is the most common best shot in that sequence, and that's an indication that players can afford to go a little bit quicker without sacrificing balance, control and coordination. So try this drill. It's a 5-ball drill. You very simply go through the processes we've laid out so far. Good setup. Hit a shot. Not too bad. We pull another ball up, and the goal here is from the same setup. Face is sprayed. We're now going to try and go 2 miles an hour faster. When you go through that 5-ball drill, pay attention to the kind of shots you hit. You might be surprised where in that sequence of 5 balls your best shot is.